flooding across our region overnight. Our crew has been out in the worst of it. We have live First Alert team coverage.
A local man wanted for a recent murder has been captured. Now he faces a judge in just hours. What we're just learning about this case.
Rochester police are looking for answers in the city's latest homicide. The victim found dead in a car. What investigators are still trying to figure out.
And the benefits do outweigh the risk. That's the word we're getting this morning from federal health experts pushing the Pfizer vaccine for children. We're tracking the next steps for approval for your kids on this Wednesday, October the 27th, 2021. Good morning to you. Let's get right to our top story this morning, the weather, the cleanup after that record rain.
We have live First Alert team coverage from across the region as you're waking up. Meteorologist Rich Cornelia leads us off. Rich.
Yes, good morning, Lynette. Everybody at home, here's the good news right here. We'll take a live look at First Alert radar, and there's nothing showing up on the radar. So the rain is done. That has exited, so we don't have to worry about that today. There's still a couple of residual issues from some of the heavier rain yesterday evening along Irondequoit Creek, Allen Creek on the east side. There could still be a little bit of flakes, but, you know, Ellison Park, those kind of areas get a little bit of water. Also, there were some issues, Clifton Springs out towards Geneva. Again, the creeks are back where they should be, at least below any flood stage out there, but there's still some rushing water out there. These warnings go until 8 a.m. in Ontario County, so that's be done in a couple of hours. That one for Irondequoit Creek through 6 o'clock this afternoon. Right now we're at 51, overcast sky, got that breeze out of the north. It's at least drying things out. Still a little bit cloudy to start. Sunrise today, 7:39. Kids going off to school don't have to worry about the rain today. Just clouds this morning, but then we'll get some breaks of sun. Improving sky conditions for the afternoon. Should be a nice day coming up with those temperatures back into the 50s. Headed towards this afternoon. Lynette?
All right, Rich. Our team coverage continues now as we head to neighborhoods in the Finger Lakes.
The areas hard hit there include Clifton Springs. That water has to go somewhere. Emily Putnam is live there this morning. Emily?
Brennan and Lynette, good morning. The rain has stopped here in the Finger Lakes, but today it will be all about the cleanup, especially here in Clifton Springs. I'm standing in the middle of a park off of Crane Street near downtown Clifton Springs right now, and the water here is at least a foot deep in some places. Take a look at what we're seeing here in this park. You can see that the water line goes right up to some of these structures behind me. There's a barn that looks like it's probably facing some flooding towards the base of it there. And we also got some viewers sent us photos overnight. I want to show you some of these photos here. You can see people being evacuated from their homes for flooding last night in Clifton Springs. Some basements had 2 to 3 feet of water. Several families that live on Crane Street were taken to a YMCA down the road. Finger Lakes Ambulance, which is also on Crane Street, had to relocate some of its equipment to the fire department. We spoke with the chief of Clifton Springs Fire Department, who explains what he saw overnight.
After a few hours, the rains receded and the water's gone, but the damage to the homes is substantial. It's more water than anybody's seen here in downtown Clifton in over 30 years of being here.
Again, the rain has stopped, but we also heard reports of damage in Wayne County over in Geneva. But this seems to be where a lot of the water from overnight ended up here in Clifton Springs. And coming up in the next half hour, I'll show you what a local creek is looking like this morning here in Clifton Springs. We're live this morning. Emily Putnam, News 10 NBC Today.
All right, thank you, Emily. How about that? Back here in Rochester, though, we also had a couple of problems.
First Alert meteorologist Alex Bielfeld is live in Rochester with what we're dealing with here closer to home.
Brennan and Lynette, we're right along the Genesee River just to see how high it has come, especially with all that water rushing into the Genesee as it has fallen yesterday. But yesterday, it was a complete washout. It was a little bit breezy as well. We had rain, heavy at times. Also, and it was just a classic nor'easter. Thankfully this wasn't in the winter because obviously we'd be looking at a different type of precipitation this time around. But let's take a look at some of that video yesterday with the flooded roadways across the area. So in Rochester, we came across several of those dangerous situations. The first was the Hudson Avenue underpass. Cars were still driving through the deep water, but thankfully no one got stuck while we were there. I can't say the same for a couple cars on Conkey Ave. Emergency crews were out trying to free the cars and the people inside, and the drain that the water kept gathering on on the street. Neighbors in the area tell us they saw the second car get stuck when they got back from the store last night.
When we came back, we noticed the gray car. It was stuck. We already saw the fire truck. Then the other car thought they can get around both cars and got stuck as well.
Emergency crews were able to free both cars, which is good news. And they were also out asking anyone if their basements were flooded. Yesterday, the Rochester Airport broke an all-time record for the 24-hour rainfall record, that daily record, I should say, for yesterday. We got 1.81 inches of rain in just yesterday alone, and that broke a record from 1872, where we saw 1.74 inches of rain. Now, to put it in terms of our monthly average at this moment, we're over 5 inches, which is also over 2 inches from departure. So after that dry start that we saw early this October, things have turned more unsettled. We got some more unsettled weather on the way with some more showers towards the end of the week. But First Alert meteorologist Rich Keneally will have more details on that coming up in his full forecast in a few minutes. But from the Genesee River, Alex Bielfeld, News 10 NBC.
All right, Alex, thanks. And remember, you can keep track of the weather and conditions anytime on the go by downloading the First Alert weather app.